got super chaotic. For those first about probably 150 to 200 meters, it was basically a pushing and shoving contest to see who could push each other out of the way the quickest to be able to get to the front. Because I was not far from the front, but when you're in that corral with all these people, you basically have to Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to the video. So in today's video, I did say, hope you enjoyed the last video with you guys, all about the U.S. women's 4x100 meter relay team at the 2016 Olympics when they had to run that extra heat after the heats of the prelims to ultimately make it to the finals and win the gold medal. I think my biggest takeaway from that video is sometimes those extra mental battles that you have to fight during that, they can actually benefit you. Because in the article, they actually said the U.S., in the NBC video, if you guys went to watch the NBC video, link down in the description below, I'll link it here, but I also linked it over in that video. If you watch that, Allison Felix actually said it made her and the entire team stronger by running that extra round because they had that extra mental ability to just keep going because nobody else had to fight that battle. Everyone else made it in automatically or they didn't. So they either made their dream come true, made it to the final, or they didn't make that dream come true and they just didn't have to worry about it. The U.S. didn't know. They were in between because they could make the they had a chance to make the final, but if they messed this up, there was no more final for them. So they had to think to themselves, okay, we just have to execute this flawlessly, get through this mental side, and ultimately, as they said in the article, or not in the article actually, I told you guys after we read the article, they did end up to win the gold medal, but during that, it was really a difficult time. I mean, it was devastating that first round when they dropped the baton and didn't even know if they were going to make it in. But luckily, they made it through, won the gold medal, and ultimately made it through, made those mental tough challenges, and sometimes that's just how it's going to go. You guys, I really do hope you enjoyed that. You guys, that's probably going to do it up for this first block of the intro, and now we'll do into our second block of the intro, the target race video. So in today's video, as you guys probably see by the ribbon around my neck, and it actually is, as most of you probably predicted, it is a medal. If you guys can see, it says B.A.A. 5K, and that is the video we're going to be filming today. We are going to be recapping the B.A.A. 5K. Now, this 5K had it all. This 5K had the elites, they had the wheelchairs, and they had the runners. But this 5K ultimately had the best competition I have ever run against in a single race. It's better than I ran it against at Hollis. It's better than Fudgical. It's better than any race I've ever ran in my life. It's better than Amesbury. It's better than Cheap. I have never had a better set of runners to tug me along in this race, and the time I got was ridiculous because of those runners. This race had the hype, it had the excitement, it had the nerves, but it also had the amazing, amazing results. So obviously in the video, as we always do with our race recaps, we'll be having a before, during, and after the race blocks. I will also be having on 3 guest speakers. You guys probably already know who they are, but that you have to wait till the end. And we're going to basically be talking about how this race was the greatest 5K I have ever run in, and how all the great runners who ran this race, and there were some amazing, amazing runners who ran this race, how they ultimately pulled me along to run my greatest 5K I have ever run. You guys, so that's probably going to do it up for this first block of for this intro of the video, and now let's go into our first block of the video, the before the race block. Alright guys, in this first block of the video, we're going to be talking about what happened before the race. So before the race, obviously, you guys probably already know this. My dad woke me up, I had my bobo, I had my chocolate milk, but let's run back for a second. So this race started at 8 a.m., and it was at the Boston Common. It started basically right in the Boston Common. It actually did start directly inside the Boston Common, so we were in there for probably about 100, 200 meters, and then we were outside of it. But it started at 8 a.m., so the elite wheelchairs got underway at 8 a.m. Well, no, sorry. The elite wheelchairs probably got underway 10 minutes earlier than that. But we got away right around 8 a.m., which meant we had to be in Boston we loaded into the corrals at 7:30, which means we had to be in Boston basically by between 6:45 and 7. Now that did not happen, which also meant I had to wake up at about 4:30. Or I had to wake up about 4:30 that morning or yesterday morning when I'm filming this for you guys, but that morning, last week, I think whenever this goes up for you guys, but I had to wake up at 4:30 that morning and eat my breakfast. So I woke up at 4:30, nervous, tired, but also really excited for the experience to go run this awesome 5K, because this is a 5K like none other because of the amazing competition that you're not going to find anywhere else. So I woke up, my dad woke me up, he made my Bowl, my chocolate milk. I watched some YouTube videos, some past races from the World Championships, the Olympics. That's kind of my morning routine every single morning. I watch that. I finish my breakfast. I eat it slightly slowly, but fast enough that I get it eaten probably down in like 30, 45 minutes, probably close to 30 minutes. But I'm done by about probably, actually, I woke up at between 4:30 and 5. I actually don't know. I think I woke up at like 5:30. So I was done with my breakfast by like 6. And then after I finished my breakfast, I stood there, or I sat there for like 20, 30 more minutes probably, until watching YouTube videos, because I was addicted to them at that point. And I was also really nervous for this race because I knew it was going to be really great competition, until my mom and dad finally basically said to me, okay, you have to get dressed or we're going to be late. And that's finally when it clicked on in my brain and said, okay, go get dressed. So I got in my tracksuit, my singlet, my shorts, my jacket, my pants, got my shoes on, brought my Alpha Flies, wore my Sauconys there, got all my stuff together. We were going to be going into Boston that day, so we were going to be staying there after the race, so I got all my stuff together that I would need. We put it all in the car, we loaded my family into the car, we got in the car, and then we were off. So I'm going to skip over the whole 45 minutes over to Boston. It wasn't that eventful. It was kind of just me sitting there. I think I watched my phone a little bit, did some stuff, maybe a little bit of YouTube editing for you guys. And then by the time we got there, we basically we got there so late. We got there about probably 7 o'clock, like 7 to 7:05 probably, maybe even 7:10. So we had to basically get out of the car, get everything ready that we needed, rush over there, and I think it was about 7:15 that we got over there. And we got over there, we changed, we took off I stripped off my pants, I didn't strip off my jacket yet, but we didn't even start warming up till 7:25, and we had such a short warm up that we basically did, my dad asked me if I had to go to the bathroom, and I told him yes, and then he's like, okay, but we'll have to skip some of the warm up, and that's when I told him, no, and he's like, yes, you have to go, because the bathroom, he even said, like, if you have to, you cannot stop to go to the bathroom on the course, because I think there are bathrooms, but like, for me to run, if I wanted to run a good time, this is a 5K. You can't make your way back up to people if you stop to go to the bathroom. So he basically said, okay, just go, try to stretch yourself out a little bit here while you're waiting. And then I went to the bathroom. I did some of my skips while he was going. And then basically we jogged back to my mom. I stripped off my jacket. I put it back. I basically threw it to her, and this was all frantic because I was thinking, oh my god, I can't be late for this. This is so hard to process. Like, I can't be late for this. If I do, I'm gonna fall behind, and it's gonna be like, oh. So I basically had to think up to myself, like, I had to basically tell myself, you can stay calm. You're going to make it. You have time. Because the second wave didn't even roll till 7:50, and to be honest, the B.A.A. wasn't that strict. They didn't really have people telling you where to go. So there were people who were in way behind, that with numbers way behind, because they numbered you. Your number was by your seated time. So like, I was in the hundreds, but you had people in the thousands coming up to the front, so they weren't really that strict with it. So I basically told myself, you have time. You're going to make it. Just keep calm. We dropped my jacket off with my mom, and then me and my dad, we did like a fast jog there as kind of like our strides, basically. And we did like a jog, and then we just did like a one stride, and then we jogged again over to the corral line where they were lining us up. So once we got over to the corral line, I basically stood there, stretched out more. I tried to do some of my skips and stuff in the corral line, but it was really hard because this race had 10,000 people in it, and I think like 9,000 of them finished or something. So with 10,000 people in the corral, like, it's really, really hard to find room to do these skips. So I kind of did like my scoops, my butt kicks, my high knees when I could find room for them. I did all the ones that kind of didn't really need that much room. I couldn't do like the the B skips, but I could do like the A skips and stuff, so I did that. So once I finished doing that, I kept stretching myself out. I actually saw a few people that I knew. I saw someone who from USATF. We talked for a little bit. He told me about him. I told him about me, how the training was going. He watched some of my YouTube videos, so I thank him for that. If you are watching that, I forget your name right now. But shout out to you thank you for coming up to me and telling me you watch my videos and talking to me a little bit. It kind of kept my mind off stuff, and yeah, so it helped. So basically we got in line. They loaded us at 7:30, so I finished my stretching. They loaded everyone else at 7:50, and by like 7:50, I would say like 7:55, we started running up to the start line. So once we got to the start line, it would probably be another 10 to 15 minutes before we even went off, but we heard the wheelchairs go off. We didn't see them, but we heard the gun go off. Then we heard the elite men and women go off. I think it was the elite women, and then it was the elite men, and then we finally got to us. So they basically said 1 minute, and then I said 30 seconds, and then after 30 seconds, I kind of got myself ready and basically told myself, okay, keep calm, keep composed, keep relaxed. You are going to be fine. Just don't rush the process in this race. You have to be calm and composed, and just keep calm and don't let anything nerve-wrack you. So we basically ran up to the line. I gave a thumbs up to my dad while we were waiting, did a little last-minute stretching, and the moment that gun went off, we were gone, and this 5K went out like bulleting. Guys, so that's probably gonna do it up for this first block of the video, and now let's move into our second block of the video, the during the race block. Alright guys, in the second block of the video, we're going to be talking about what happened during the race. So as I told you guys in the last block, I gave my dad that thumbs up. I also gave my mom, my coach, and my sister a thumbs up. My coach, shout out to him for coming to watch me today. He really does help me stay calm, and he gives me some good tips before the race, and after the race for that matter. So he is a really helpful person to see, and my mom and my sister as well. So I gave a thumbs up to them. I gave a thumbs up to my dad. I did a few last minute stretches, and a few last minute skips, like high knees in place, butt kicks in place, and then some like quad stretching and some other kind of stretching just to get myself loose and keep myself limber. And then we jogged up to the line, they blew the gun, and we were gone. Now, as I told you guys in the last block, people were off like bullets. It was crazy. So they started us basically in this corral where there were 2 barriers. So it got super chaotic. For those first about probably 150 to 200 meters, it was basically a pushing and shoving contest to see who could push each other out of the way the quickest to be able to get to the front. Because I was not far from the front, but when you're in that corral with all those people, you basically have to shove yourself through people to get up to the front. And with all these fast guys, that's not very hard. But there were people who weren't really supposed to be in front who were in front. So trying to dodge people was hard because you had this 6-foot area to be able to dodge people. And when you only have 6 feet, that's not a lot of space to be able to run around people. So for that first 200 meters, I basically jogged it because I basically told myself, don't try to go fast now. Well, do try to go fast now, but don't try to, you don't try to get tangled up with someone. You don't want to fall in this scenario. I even said to myself, this road will open up. You're not going to be in this corral forever. You're going to take that. Eventually, would it be a turn? It's going to open up. Well, I was right because after that jogging that 200 meters, I told myself, okay, go. The road finally opened up. You have all this open space. You have guys to chase. Go, 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 and see how fast you can run. So I kind of went up and tried to attach myself to this lead pack. I think it was either the lead pack or the chase pack who was chasing the lead pack. I mean, there were guys so fast. I could see guys all the way up the road from me. I mean, it was ridiculous how fast these guys were running and how hard it was for me I had to sprint up there and then try to settle in, which never really happened because it was so fast. But I had to kind of try to settle in, and I somewhat did it, but again, not really. So trying to settle in and then just trying to latch onto them and go with their pace, because I knew, okay, you have one shot to get this right, and if you don't get this right, if you fall off the back, you're not getting back in touch with these guys. So you have to try to stay with them as much as possible. We keep running down that road, and we take the second right, and we take the first right-hand turn. The last turn was a left-hand, we take the second right-hand turn, and we join on this short road. I just try to keep latching myself onto these guys, say to myself, okay, these guys, act them like your pacers. Act like these guys are your pacers. See how long you can hang with them, and see if you can try to pass them at some point. Because if you can keep passing people and just making your way up slowly, you have time. I was only about 3 minutes into the race at that point, maybe 4, but I basically told myself, you have time. You're going to be out here for 15 minutes, 15, 16, 17 minutes plus. So you have time to catch people. Not too much time. I mean, you don't have 2 hours like a marathon, but you have time. This isn't a 200-meter sprint where you have to catch people almost immediately. You have time to make up the ground. So I basically keep running down that road, and then we take the first left-hand turn, and that's when it just goes all the way down. You can see it's just basically like a giant straightaway all the way down the road. And I just think to myself, okay, just keep trying to latch onto these guys. This part wasn't really that fun because it was basically me just like panting and puffing and huffing and puffing for air, and then me trying to latch myself onto them. Because these athletes, they were just so good. Like, I know I keep saying that, but these athletes were so good and they were so competitive that it was really, really, really hard to keep myself latched onto them. I mean, there were some of the best running clubs in the country, and there were some of the best runners in the country. Actually, runners from all over the world come to run this 5K. So I'm competing with some of the best runners in the world. It's hard to keep up. But I did it as best as I can, and ultimately did a pretty good job with it. So I kept running down that road, and the first water stop came up. I did not take water because at that point, my arms were noodle arms, and I basically said, if you take water, you might mess up your stomach, you might mess something up. Don't mess with what works. Just keep looking ahead and keep going. We hit the mile split at like 9:58, but I know that's not my mile split because when the clock started for like the wheelchairs or the elite, either the wheelchairs or the elite runners, but we started like 10 minutes behind them, so it wasn't 9:58, but I knew, okay, you're past the first mile, you're a third of the way there. You now have to just try to latch onto these guys and just make something out of it, make a race out of it, see if you can hang on with them and try to beat them a little bit, maybe put a little bit of distance between them. We come past the mile marker, and soon after that, we come down the first hill. Thank God, that was a lifesaver, that first hill. And then I basically tried to make up some ground on people. So that first hill, I tried to make up a little bit of ground, and this one hill would shape up a battle. I actually had 2 battles in this race with 2 individual people, but this one hill would shape a battle up that would make all the difference. So we went down the hill, and as we were coming up the hill, I started to go neck and neck with this guy, and I could see him trying to speed up for me. And I told myself, okay, this is the battle that you want to get. Act as him like your pacer. Latch on to him and see if you can put a little bit of distance between yourselves. Because if you get past this guy, then you can go to the next one, and it kind of boosts your confidence when you get past people, and it makes you just that little bit faster that you can get past them, and then go after everyone else. So I basically come neck and neck with each other, and as we kept running down that road, and we were about to take the first left-hand turn, we were still there together. And as we took the first left-hand turn, and then shortly after, took the next left-hand turn. It was like a roundabout basically, and you were going back and the other way now. You were about probably a mile and a half by that point, probably, I'm guessing. Because it was a 5K, so I'm guessing you're probably like 1.5, 1.5 miles or 1.55, that's somewhere around 1.5 miles. And basically, as we came off that roundabout area, he had actually taken a little bit of a lead on me, probably about 5-10 meters, more like 5 meters, but I could have been 10, I have no idea, between those 5 and 10 meter marks. And I basically told myself, okay, don't lose him. If you lose him, you're not going to get him back. So you cannot lose him. You have to just keep going. I mean, as the sun panted down on us, it was a nice day, but I basically told myself, you cannot lose them. If you lose them, you are not going to make it back. And if you are not going to make it back and you fall back more, there are hungry, hungry runners behind you who are not afraid to pass you at all. So you cannot give up your spot here, and you have to just keep going. I mean, as I say that, when we kept running down that road, and we came up to the hill again, because there as the roundabout, it was a tunnel basically. So the tunnel went on both sides. So the hill we came up and the hill we came down, they were basically flip flops. So we went down the hill again, and he kind of gained a little bit of ground on me, but I started to make up a little bit on him. And then as we came up the hill under the bridge, I again came neck and neck with him. Now, as that happened, I basically told myself, okay, try to get past him a little bit. You're getting closer to that 2-mile mark. And as you hit that 2-mile mark, you want to kind of be alone. You want to be with someone, but you also want to have a big enough gap behind you that you can get there. And you can actually just hold your own and get there and not be passed. That ultimately did not end up happening, but I did do a pretty good job with it. So I give myself a little bit of credit there, pat myself on the back for that. But we kept running down that road. I could see people coming back because it was a roundabout loop. So I kept seeing people coming back, and I heard some cheering on the other side for all the runners, me and all the other runners. Thank you everyone who cheered for us, and thank you to everyone who came out today. It was an amazing race, and I loved it so much. So we kept running down that road, and as we approached the left-hand turn of that road, when we turned all the way back to basically get there, we took the right-hand turn. I think there was the second water stop came at that point too. I think the water stop was basically on that road. We took the right-hand turn, and that was 2 miles right there. And I told myself, okay, you're 2/3 of the ways done. You have probably about 5.5 more minutes to make your way up there. Just keep grinding. Don't give this up, because you know there are people behind you who are hungry to catch you. And if you let them catch you, you're not going to get them back, because at this stage in the race, you're exhausted, you're tired, and you just can't wait to get there. But you have to be able to hold your own and just try to make a little bit of gap there. By this point, I had kind of making a little bit of gap by the guy I came neck and neck with. And then as we took that final left-hand turn, and that would be the second to last turn on the entire course, I could see actually the Boston Marathon finish line. We actually crossed over it. It was not the 5K finish line, but it was the marathon finish line. And on the top of it, it read, "You're almost there." And it read, "Welcome runners." And then it read 0.7 of a mile to go. And I thought to myself, that doesn't help. 0.7, because, I mean, you would think like, oh, 0.7 of a mile, that's not that much. No, but when you're running at your hardest pace, 0.7 of a mile, that's probably about 1,200 meters. That seems like an eternity. So the problem with, I mean, it's a nice gesture and all, but like, 0.7 of a mile doesn't make it sound easier. I mean, think of that. 0.7 of a mile is almost 3 laps of the track. So if you envision 3 laps of the track panned out in a straight line, that's what I had to run down. And as they were telling me that, and I'm like, oh, why'd you have to tell me that? Like, that didn't help. But I crossed the finish line, and I didn't cross the finish line. I crossed the marathon finish line, not the 5K one, but the marathon one. It was super cool. But as I did, I started to try to make up a little bit of ground on the people in front of me, and I started to come neck and neck with another guy. And just as I did, an enormous headwind hit me, and I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. And I thought to myself, like, okay, this is a headwind, but again, you have the mental toughness. Use that mental toughness that you have to your advantage. A lot of people don't have that mental toughness, and if you use it, you're going to be able to make through, but you just have to believe that you can make through this headwind. And soon after that, I pulled neck and neck with the guy, and then we actually got a tailwind, which is really nice. That kind of brightens up the story a little bit. Not the pain, but I was really lactic. I had a lot of lactic acid in my legs at that point, so it kind of flushed out some of that lactic acid and gave me the extra energy that I had, and kind of loosened up my legs a little bit to keep going and not build up that extra lactic acid. So I actually passed the guy who I came neck and neck with eventually, as soon after that tailwind, and the lactic acid also came back as well. So it was kind of a win-lose, but I mean, I'm gonna take it. So I passed the guy, and we kept running down the road. We kept running down that road. Once again, these runners were amazing. It was so hard to pass them. passing these guys was like, I mean, I probably only passed about 2 people on the entire course, by the time we hit after the 1 mile mark. So it was a crazy fast race. I mean, it was ridiculous. But as I came into that, as I took the wide right-hand turn, all I could hear was it was deafening crowd. I felt like I was in the Boston Marathon. I felt like I was about to win because of how deafening the crowd was. And it was just so loud, and it was such an amazing atmosphere. It was such an amazing experience. Thank you to all the crowds that came out to cheer us on today. It was so much fun to hear you all, and I felt like I was literally running the Boston Marathon for my first time for myself. I know I was running the 5K, but the feeling was mutual. But yeah, so as I got in there, I heard the crowd, but I basically just told myself, okay, this is the time where you just have to hold your own. Holding your own is the only way you are going to get to this point, and holding your own is the only way you're going to be able to hold your spot. So just hold your spot, keep your pace going, push all the way there, and just pray and die that nobody passes you. I take that final left-hand turn, and I come into the home straight, and it's probably about 150 meters to 200 meters down. Same when I ran out when I first started the race, and I heard about probably halfway down the most unpleasant sound ever, footsteps. And I knew, okay, and I thought to myself, maybe it's your footsteps. Come on, keep going. Drive. Drive those arms, drive them out. Come on, keep the legs going. And as I looked over to my left, I could see 1 guy. And I kept telling myself, keep going. 2 guys. Kept telling myself, keep going. 1 3rd guy. And that's when I basically told myself, okay, try to latch yourself onto them. Maybe you can get them. And as we came to the line, as someone else was actually speeding up behind me, I was lucky I didn't get caught by them. I might have, but I might have not. I think I beat him by like 400ths of a second. But yeah, so I crossed the finish line with a lean at the line. I think it was about 16:21 on my watch. That was unofficial, and it would ultimately end up being a lot higher, about 10 seconds higher, 16:31 in the end. But I basically thought to myself, well, there you go. There is your new 5K personal best, and your best one ever. You guys, that's probably going to do it up for the second block of the video, and now it's into our third block of the video, the after the race block. Alright guys, this third block of the video, we're going to be talking about what happened after the race. So after I crossed the finish line, I don't think I told you guys in the last block, but I basically thought to myself, well, there you go. There's your new 5K PR and your best 5K ever. But as I crossed that finish line, I was shocked. I mean, if they had live streamed this and you had watched a video of me crossing the finish line, you would have thought I was literally having a heart attack or dying because I was so exhausted. I basically went straight over to the barrier, leaned up, and leaned over as I looked like I was probably going to throw up, I think. I am a day out from this, so I can't remember every detail, but I leaned over on the fence, and I had my head, down like this, and I'm like, oh my god, you probably would have thought I was about to throw up, but luckily I made it through. I pushed through that pain, and after probably about, 30 seconds or so, I was basically back to normal, and I could, speak again, I could think clearly again, see clearly again, all that kind of stuff. Legs were sore, but I could still see and hear and talk and do all that stuff properly again. As I was going through the finish chute, I was basically stumbling through the finish chute, almost like an elephant, lumbering through type thing in the forest. But I basically thought to I went down the finish chute, and I congratulated some guys. The competition was just amazing today. I know I keep saying that, but I will continue to say it throughout this video. The competition was amazing. It was crazy. I mean, they brought me through my official time, 16:31. I mean, I have never run sub 17 on the roads on an official course. Hollis, yes, that was 16:04, but I don't consider that official because it was such an elevation drop that you can't consider that an official PR. So when I refer to my PR, I always refer to about 17:04, I think it was. But I mean, 16:31? How is that even possible? I saw the official time yesterday when I'm filming this for you guys. It was yesterday, but after the race, and I thought to myself, oh my god, how in the world is that even possible? But I mean, that's just the reality of that's great of a competition. That shows you I slashed 33 seconds off my PR. That was how good the competition was. So I congratulated all the competition. I walked through, got my medal, as you guys see. That's the medal I got. It says B.A.A. here with the blue unicorn, and it was yellow here for the gold, and then white. And on the other side, it was just all silver, and it had the blue on it as well. So I don't really know why they had the gold and the silver, or the silver and then the all silver, but you know what? Whatever. So I got my medal, and then I tried to go meet my dad afterwards. So I came out of the finishing chute, and I actually went back into the finishing chute, tried to meet my dad. We met up, we talked for a little bit. We gave each other. He asked me how I did. I said good. He asked me what my time was, and my unofficial time, obviously not real. I told him it was 16:01 because I didn't know at the time, and he told me that was awesome. But we basically went out of the finishing chute, went into the tent, got some stuff to eat. Got a few snacks, got a few drinks, and then we came out, and I talked to the buddy I knew from USATF. He ran an amazing time. I think it was like 18:21 or something. So that was awesome. I am so proud of everyone who ran this race. But he ran especially an amazing, amazing, amazing time. That was a phenomenal time that he ran. But yeah, so we then went over and met up. My dad's friend actually ran this as well, so we met up with him. We talked to him for a little bit. We got some free stuff. Once again, I will do an expo recap for you guys later, probably later this week or maybe even next week into next week. But at some point after this video, it'll be pretty soon after this video. I'm gonna tell you guys how much free stuff I got at the expo. That recap is coming soon, so make sure you stay tuned for it. I will link the link down in the description below when I get the link. But that one is going to be an especially amazing one, and I really do hope you guys stick around for it. You don't want to miss it, so make sure you hit the subscribe button, like the video, and yeah, all that kind of stuff, because you don't want to miss that expo recap, because I'm telling you, the free stuff I got from the expo was ridiculous. But back to the race. So we talked to my dad's friend a little bit, and then we basically went over, we talked a little bit more about the time, and then we had to loop all the way around to go see my mom and my coach. But yeah, so we went around, we saw my mom and my coach. We talked to them for a little bit. They told me and my dad good job. We took a few pictures with our medals and everything. I took out I also will tell you guys more about this. I got a massage gun from the expo the day before. So I took the massage gun and basically gave myself a quick massage down my legs. It felt so good, and I love the massage gun so much. I will show you guys more about that in the expo recap. But yeah, so it was so much fun, this race. I really did like it. And after we talked to my coach a little bit, we took the pictures. This was a huge surprise for me, because after the race, a woman came up to me who would ultimately be someone I know, and she came up to me and basically she shook my hand and she told me she knew me and she sees me everywhere, and then she handed me her phone, and on the screen I saw, I did mention them in the Junior Olympic, the Jacksonville recap. I will link that one. I will link that video down in the description below. I saw Ari, my buddy from Junior Olympics, and when she when she came up to me, I didn't even know it was his mom. But I mean, she gave me the phone, and I saw Ari, and I'm like, oh my God, Ari, what are you doing here? And he had to go to practice soon after that, but he said congratulations on the race, and I was just so happy to see him, because I basically never see him. I think we FaceTime once since I've got his number. So I never see him because he lives in New York, so it's hard for me to see him. But it was really nice for my mom. It was really nice for his mom to come up. And when he went off the phone and he had to go to practice, we said thank you. I said thank you to his mom for showing me or letting me talk to him for a little bit, and then we said bye. My coach also had to go, but he would be back later to go to the expo. But we took a few more pictures, got everything together, got everything put in the backpack, and then after that, we basically headed back to the car to put our extra stuff on, and then we basically headed over to the expo and all the Boston Marathon stuff to have another great day in Boston. You guys, that's probably going to do it up for this third block of the video, and now let's move into our fourth block of the video, today's special guest speakers. Alright guys, in this fourth and final block of the video, we're going to be having our 3 special guest speakers today. So as I told you guys, you probably already knew who they were going to be, because they are always on the channel every single race. It's my mom, our photographer, my dad, our second runner, and my sister, our greatest cheerleader. So my dad yesterday ran an awesome race. I think he got a new PR, correct?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, so again, that competition, it's just awesome. It's amazing. He got a new PR, I got a new PR, so it just proves that competition yesterday was awesome. It is the greatest 5K race I have ever run in. Don't know about him, but for me, it's probably the greatest 5K race I've ever run in, and it showed by the best time and the best experience. My mom, she took all the photos yesterday. The photos that I'm going to be having for the 5K, if she wasn't there, they wouldn't be taken. And she was also a great, great cheerleader for us. She definitely helped me get through, helped me after the race and before the race to stay calm and stay composed with myself and stay within myself. So she is very helpful. And my sister Catherine, last but not least, she is the best cheerleader we have. She is always the one, whether I have a good race or I have the bad race, she is always the one who comes up to me. She congratulates me. She tells me how well I did. She gives me words of encouragement. And so I'm going to hand it over to them to talk a little bit about yesterday's race experience. You guys?
So I'll go first. This whole weekend has been an unbelievable experience. And one of the highlights was definitely yesterday watching Brian and Michael race in the B.A.A 5K. We were lucky enough, we were right at the start line with Coach Joe, and we were able to watch. We saw Michael go out, even though he was, the shortest one in that whole group of guys running up there up the front. But we saw him go out, and then we knew he'd be coming in pretty quick. They both would be coming in quick. So we ended up just hanging out, watching all the other runners start. And then before we knew it, we heard Michael's name being called over the loudspeaker, and we saw him cross the finish line. It's pretty awesome. Once he crossed, he kind of stopped running, walked a little bit, looked back to see where we are, gave me the thumbs up, so I knew it was okay, because I wasn't able to be right at the finish like I usually am, because there's so many runners. So I knew it was okay. And then a couple minutes later, Brian crossed the finish line as well. And we were able to see that. And then I knew Brian would find Michael, and eventually they would come back and find us through the crowds of people. So it was an unbelievable experience. Such a great race. I'm so proud of both of them. Just unbelievable how much faster they each get with every single race. So fun to watch.
You
No, Daddy.
want me to go? All right. So I had a lot of fun with yesterday's race. It was a good time. I mean, it was crowded at the beginning, but we were able to get right up in the front, like Michael said. So we kind of got up with a lot of the other faster guys in the race. And when the gun went off, it went pretty quick. I mean, the first part of the race was a little bunched up. Once we made that right-hand turn around the public gardens and worked our way over to Calm Ave, it opened up a little bit. And then we had a straight shot basically all the way through down Calm Ave till we looped back around and went around the backside. So I could be coming down before the turn. I was able to see Michael had already made the turn and was on his way back. So he was flying along. I knew he was doing really well. And then we followed along the second half of the final part of the marathon course, crossed over the finish line, and we went back down Boylston. And I kept looking at my watch only because I knew that I was running a good time. So I knew that if I was running a good time, Michael was running an amazing time. So came up toward the finish. It seemed like it took forever to get to the finish. It was a straightaway, so you could see forever, but it seemed like it took a long time, even though it didn't.
As I told you guys, it was about 150 to 200 meters down, and it was a mental thing more than a physical thing. But
so I got close to the finish around, I don't know, the 17, almost 18 minute mark before I made the right hand turn. So I knew Michael had finished well before me, so I knew he'd run an amazing PR. He was shooting for. We thought he could do sub 17, and he clearly ran better than that, which is amazing. And I crossed the finish line, saw my time, which was a good time, I thought, but not anywhere near what Michael ran, which he ran fantastic. And then I saw him up ahead of me, so I ran up and caught up to him, and we kind of went from there. We met up with one of our other buddies that ran the race, and we went and picked up everything, got our food, got our shirts, headed back to where Lisa, Catherine, Joe, and everyone else was. And we told them how the race went. I thought it went really well. It was a fun race. It was fast. It was very fast. A lot of great runners in that field. I mean, the B.A.A. puts on fantastic races. So it was fun. We'll definitely do it again next year. And yeah, that was a great time. I'm glad we did it, and I'm looking forward to the next race. So we're moving on to the next. But it was a fantastic time. It was a fun time, and Michael ran amazing. So it was an all in all a very, very good experience.
You literally just summarized the entire video.
So yeah, they did a great job, and happy Easter. Keep running.
All right, thank you guys. You guys, that's probably going to do it up for this fourth and final block of the video, and that's probably going to wrap it up for today's video. Alright guys, and I really do hope you enjoyed this video. I really do hope you enjoyed listening to me talk about what happened before, during, and after the race of the B.A.A. 5K. Once again, it was such an amazing race. I loved it so much. It was so amazing. The competition, the atmosphere. I mean, I told you guys in the video, I think it was during the race block, I basically said I felt like I was running the Boston Marathon. That was how loud and big the crowds were, and they were shouting my name, "Go Michael!" And my number was 249, and they shouted, "Go Michael! Go 249!" So it was so much fun to run through, not only for the experience of actually running through, seeing the city, seeing the course, and having the great competition there to push me along, also who got me a PR ultimately, but also the crowd who basically made me felt like I was running and about to win the Boston Marathon. So that's how good the crowd support was, and the competition. I am so proud of everyone who ran today. Whether you finished first or whether you finished 5,000th, it was an honor to run this race. It was so much fun running this race. The competition here was ridiculous. It gave me it gave me a 33-second PR, and I almost never run more than a 10-second PR for a 5K now. I mean, as my times got quicker and quicker and quicker, it was much harder to run those times, and as being a 33-second PR, that's a lot of time to shave off. So the competition was amazing here today, and I'm so proud of everyone who ran. It was just an amazing atmosphere, and I'm so happy. Thank you to my mom, my sister, and my coach, and everyone else for cheering me on. Thank you to all the competitors who pushed us, and it was just so much fun to have everyone there. I really do hope you enjoyed today's guest speakers. It was so much fun having my mom, my sister, and my dad talk about their experiences from the race, watching the race, running the race. My dad ran an amazing time, ran an amazing race for that matter, and he's an amazing racer. He's the one who basically encouraged me throughout all my races. So he's a really, really, really great runner and great racer. My mom, obviously the photographer, she took all the photos for today, and I will be linking photos at the end of the video, but I will get more to that after this. But the photos and videos and everything else I'll be showing you in this video today, some of it's from me, but 99.9% of it is from her. So that's the only reason I have photos to show with you guys today. And my sister, probably the biggest one of them all. She is the best, probably my favorite supporter of everyone. She is so encouraging. She is so supporting, and I love her being there so much because she is so supportive of me and my dad and everyone else there. And she always gives the congratulations, whether I have a good race or whether I have a terrible race. She's always there to give me the congratulations, and she's probably the best one we have there for a cheerleader. So thank you to all our guest speakers. I will be linking whatever finisher videos I have at the end of the video. I will also be linking whatever photos we have at the end of the video. I will also be linking my awards and my bib and my race results at the end of the video for me and my dad. So that stuff will be ×2. And yeah, so whatever else, basically any other race info I will link at the end of the video. Anything else you have to know about the race, I will link down in the description below. I will link many things down in the description below if I feel like I need to. You can find all the race info down in the description below. Sign up for next year's race. I would love to have you come run. Once again, if you ever see me around, you can come take a picture with me. I'd love to meet you guys. I really love meeting my subscribers and my followers, so it's so much fun for you guys to meet me and for me to meet you guys. So I will link the 2023 information down in the description below. I will link the race results down in the description below. I will also be linking all the other information you need to know about the race down in the description below, and I will be linking some of the elite men and women stuff down in the description below. I will also be linking some photos of them at the end of the video as well, so make sure you stick around for that. The elite men and women were amazing. It was so much fun, and I'll be linking, if I can find any videos on it, I will link those down in the description below, but if I can't, I will just put up some photos. I'll put up their times. I'll probably put up the top 3 or the top finishers and whatever I can find. And yeah, so I really hope you guys enjoyed that. You guys, hope you enjoyed that. Stick around for his quote, and you guys are going to love it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Oh, by the way, before we go, I am very sorry if my words got tangled up in my voice today. Sometimes I get kind of nervous before these films, and that's why I don't have the best video. I am pretty sure I had a pretty good video today. I feel that I did. But if my words got a little tangled up in my voice, I am very sorry for that. And so I really do hope. So I am sorry that my words got tangled up in my voice. But either way, whether you could see it, whether you couldn't, or whether they did or whether they did not, I really do hope you enjoyed this video and had a lot of fun watching it. You guys, hope you enjoyed that. Stick around with this quote, and you guys are going to love it. Make sure you stick around for all the stuff at the end of the video, and go check out the stuff in the description below. I know you guys are going to love it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have fun, keep running, enjoy life, and peace out, guys.
Gonzalez out of Brooklyn, New York. Lillian Anderson also from Brooklyn. Chris Host from Portland, Oregon. Edward Katz out of Sharon, Mass. Riley Kiernan, Jamaica Plains.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the video. Sponsor today's video, I did say, hope you enjoyed the last episode with you guys about, shoot, I just need to warm up to this. I really enjoyed going back with you guys and sharing basically with you guys, all about the article. You guys, so I really do hope you enjoyed that, and, I did as well. You guys, so hope you enjoyed that, and I really do hope you enjoyed that, and let's move into our... How did I mess up again? I don't even know where I'm at. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the video. Spoiling today's video, I did say, hope you enjoyed the last episode with you guys. Alright, let's see if the sound works on this. It should, but I just want to... Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to the video. Spoiling today's video, I did say, hope you enjoyed the last episode with you guys about, shoot, I just need to warm up to this, I think.